Hi my friends, I'm so glad that you could join me for another Bible story time this Sunday. Actually, today I'm not going to tell you a Bible story. Today I'd like to talk with you a little bit about the Holy Spirit. And the Holy Spirit makes me so excited I couldn't even sit down for this one. So today I'm standing. Last week I told you the story of how in the book of Acts we hear about the Holy Spirit coming on Pentecost. The Holy Spirit came to the followers of Jesus in wind and fire to give them power to go out and share about Jesus' love and justice to the ends of the earth. And when Jesus left the disciples, Jesus promised that the Holy Spirit was going to come to them and be their friend and their companion and their guide forever. But how can the Holy Spirit be our guide if we can't see the Holy Spirit like we see a person, or hear the Holy Spirit the way we hear a person? Well, I'd like to share with you a little bit of my own experience of the Holy Spirit. I can't see and hear the Holy Spirit like I do regular people either, but I've learned over the years some ways of sensing the movement of the Spirit. Sometimes for me the Holy Spirit feels like a bubbling up of energy, love, and kind of emotion inside of me. Like that old song, I'm bubbling, I'm bubbling, I'm bubbling in my soul. Sometimes the Holy Spirit is like an idea I get in my mind, or a nudging that I should maybe do something. Maybe it's a nudging to do something good, or maybe it's a nudging that, oh, I need to say I'm sorry. I need to make things right, or I've done something wrong. So the Holy Spirit gives me these different kinds of feelings. Actually, this picture that's behind me, I love this picture. Because when I look at this picture, it reminds me of God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit. Not exactly, but it reminds me of them, and I see so much love that I get that bubbly feeling inside me, and it reminds me of the movement of the Holy Spirit. But how do we know if it's the Spirit who's guiding us to do something? Well, we don't always, and sometimes it's pretty tricky to know. So what if I have a friend, and my friend's been treated really badly? Some people have called them names, or they've been part of a group where they've just really been treated really badly. And I have this nudging that I need to help my friend in a particular way. Let's call my friend Terrence. I have a friend named Terrence, and Terrence needs my help, and I feel this nudging to help Terrence. But I'm not sure if the Spirit is actually guiding me to help in a particular way. I'm not sure if that's the way that I should be helping them. So I'd like to share with you today how some of my animal friends, who are my guests today, have helped me when I need to figure out if the Spirit is leading me, guiding me to do something. So hang on and I'll grab my friends. So the first of my animal friends who has shared wisdom with me is my good friend, Old Turtle. So I have a friend named Terrence, and I feel this nudging that I should do something particular for Terrence, but I'm not sure if it's the right thing to do. I'm not sure if the Spirit is leading me to do it. Well, Old Turtle reminds me to slow down, to go slow and pay attention. Sometimes if I have that bubbly feeling inside, I want to act fast, I want to act now. But it's not always the best idea. I might not be feeling the Holy Spirit. It might not be the Spirit leading me, and I want to help Terrence the best way that I can. So Old Turtle reminds me to slow down and pay attention. I always think that turtles must notice everything. I just zip on by, but the turtle can pay attention to what's going on. So maybe with Terrence, I need to think of, well, what's actually going on for Terrence? Maybe I can ask Terrence some questions about how they're feeling, what might be helpful for him. Or maybe I need to look at myself. Terrence is having a hard time, but I just broke my leg and I should probably deal with a broken leg before I try to help Terrence. Sometimes there's some immediate stuff that has to happen. So Turtle reminds me to slow down and pay attention and ask good questions so I know, is the Spirit guiding me to do this, or maybe the Spirit's guiding me to do something else that would be more helpful for Terrence. The second one of my friends who helps me is my good friend Bartimaeus. Bartimaeus is named after a man in the Bible, and Jesus healed Bartimaeus. Jesus was walking along the road and he stopped and he saw a blind man named Bartimaeus, and he healed Bartimaeus, and Bartimaeus became a follower of Jesus. And so I remember from Bartimaeus, he reminds me how to remember Jesus. I need to remember who Jesus was and what Jesus taught us. Because the Holy Spirit, if the Holy Spirit is a gift from Jesus, then the Holy Spirit will guide me to be like Jesus. So I can think of, what did Jesus teach us? Well, to love God and love your neighbor as you love yourself. That if someone's hungry, you should give them something to eat, or if someone's thirsty, you can give them something to drink. So if I'm not sure if what I'm planning to do to help Terrence is a good idea, I can remember Jesus. And if it seems like something Jesus would do, it might be what the Spirit is leading me to do. My third animal friend who's taught me something about listening for the Spirit is my good friend, Morty the Bison. Morty is a herd animal. Morty always likes to stick tight with his herd. If you think about sheep, sheep have a flock. And if you think about dragons, dragons have a thunder. Well, people are kind of herd animals too. And my herd is my church and my friends and my family. So if I'm wanting to help someone like my friend Terrence, and I'm listening for the Spirit and I'm not sure if what I'm hearing is the Spirit, what Morty teaches me is that I can check in with my herd. My herd might be able to help me to figure out if the Spirit is leading me to do something. So maybe my herd has noticed something, they've slowed down and noticed something that I haven't. Maybe they have had an experience that I haven't, and they can teach me something. Maybe they can help me ask some questions I haven't thought of asking. Or maybe my herd remembers something about Jesus that I've forgotten. Maybe I always remember the stories of Jesus going out alone to pray, or Jesus calming storms. Always Jesus being calm. But maybe my friends remember the story of Jesus being so upset that people were causing harm to each other that he flipped over tables in a temple. They remember things about Jesus that I may have forgotten. So if I'm uncertain about whether the Spirit is leading me to do something, my herd can help me. And finally, I learned so much from my friend Erda the Eagle. Because if I have felt this movement I think is the Spirit, and I have paid attention and asked good questions, I've slowed down, if I have remembered Jesus, and if I have checked in with my herd and I'm still not sure and I'm afraid, I might just have to fly anyway. Like the eagle, I imagine the first time that a baby eagle flies that they're afraid. But when they leap out into the air to start flying, they realize that the wind carries them and the Spirit carries us. So sometimes we need to soar even if we're afraid. Because if the Spirit guides us to do something, the Spirit is going to hold us up too. The Spirit will be with us. Jesus promised that the Spirit would be with us and never abandon us. So those are some of my ideas about the Spirit, about the Holy Spirit being our guide. And I hope that trying to listen for the Spirit will help you to soar and share Jesus' love and justice to the ends of the earth, because that's what Jesus wants for all of us. Before we go, I'd like to bless you. So if you're with someone else, you can take your palm and put it on their arm or their shoulder, or you could put your palm over your heart. Or if the Spirit's moving you, you could put your hands in the air. Feel the winds of the Spirit. May God bless you and keep you. May God's face shine on you and be gracious to you. And may the love of God flow over and all around you and give you peace. I'll see you next Sunday. And I think next Sunday we're going to start doing some favorites. People have suggested some of their favorite stories from the Bible, so it'll be a complete surprise what story we do next week. Have a great week.